race mode time. Only has 5,400 miles on the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ron's Rides, and check out this beautiful machine we have in front of us today. I'm at Alfa Romeo Maserati of Daytona Beach, Florida. Right in front of me is a used 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio with only 5,000 miles on it. 2017 with only 5,000 miles. This thing looks incredible and it's crazy value for what you're paying for it. We'll get into the price and stuff later, but I want you guys to take a look at how this thing looks. A big reason why I am drooling over the spec of this car is because it's in the Rosso Competizione red, the $2,200 additional paint job color, which is a tri-coat red. This looks brilliant in the sunlight. My camera is not going to be able to do it as much justice, but you can already tell the depth of color and showing the body lines and really the structure of this timeless machine, so you guys can really see it already. But in person, it's just another kind of artwork. It's something that you need to admire, you know, from afar or even up close, something that you can just appreciate. So I wanted to show you guys this car. I wanted to drive it with you and take you on a ride, because it's always a treat to be able to drive one of these 505 horsepower machines. Now, we'll get into all the specs, what we believe it has later. Now, while this Giulia Quadrifoglio at its current point in time might not be the cleanest, with it being pollen season here in Daytona Beach, it's a little covered in pollen, but hopefully you guys excuse that, because this car has supermodel made looks, okay? It has an amazing Ferrari delivered twin turbo 2.9 liter V6 engine designed with class and leading power output of 505 horsepower with 443 foot-pounds of torque that runs through a superb 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. You have the manual shift function, and that normally makes it easier for anything in its class and faster for anything in its class as far as shifting goes. All right, you also have to look that it's capable of doing just 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds with a top speed claimed of almost 191 miles per hour. And you really don't have to dig too deep in your pockets for that kind of performance. The Giulia Quadrifoglio will normally start around $72,000, but it will get up there in options just under $90,000. Now, the Italian automaker is known for great styling. The interior of the Giulia Quadrifoglio oozes with style while being undoubtedly race focused, and you can tell. Things like little trimmed down when it's compared to its rivals, you know, but that doesn't mean it doesn't skip out on quality. You do have the leather race seats with the optional carbon fiber backings. You also have the Alfa Romeo logo with some pronounced stitching that's matched on the door cards. You also have the thin dashboard and the race trim steering wheel. You also have the carbon fiber to keep the weight down as well. It's pleasing to the eye. The steering wheel is a work of art itself. Now, space is good if you're up front. The Alfa Romeo, not so much in the rear. It's also missing rear folding seats for the 2017 model, which is something that some people might seem, you know, a little bit disturbed by, because it's not as practical as they like it to be. The center console controls are a little plastic. I mean, that's the thing, but they're laid out well. And the screen is easy to view with the DNA control where your hand is, and it's pretty easy to access as well. The Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio is definitely aiming its sights directly towards the usual class leaders. A lot of attention was aimed at the driving experience, so the DNA drive modes here, the selectors with the settings labeled for dynamic, you have your natural, advanced efficiency here, and then you have your race mode all the way at the top. Each one tweaks certain aspects of the suspension, steering wheel, steering and the throttle response to prove the desired drive. You can also even order up some sharper steering inputs while keeping the ride smooth, thanks to the control over the suspension and active dampers, which you see here in the middle. When you want comfortable, it's there. When you want fast, it's there. When you want outright madness, it's there. This car doubles as the perfect cross between tour and comfort levels, surpassing the rivals, and a track killer with precision and power that surprised the whole automotive community. The styling of the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio is as good as it gets, But even though it will win competitors on looks alone, the performance is where its heart is. The engine is pure class, and it outshines rivals with impressive numbers all around. With the experience of Ferrari, the Giulia Quadrifoglio makes use of a twin-turbo V6 power plant that pushes that 505 horsepower we spoke of earlier. The most surprising part is that the power comes just out of the 2.9-liter capacity, and a ZF automatic transmission links things to the rear wheels and is sharp and accurate and one of the best available. Pirelli P0 tires, and they're Corsa tires with the 19-inch dark hole wheels, steel brakes, and the red brake calipers for the Brembo brakes with Alfa Romeo Wright script. You also have, like I said, that Rosso Competizione paint, which is a $2,200 paint job. You also have things like the only carbon fiber active front lip in the world that will retract at 70 miles per hour for extra downforce. The carbon fiber painted over hood, which is exposed on the other end. The carbon fiber roof, which you can actually get optioned as an exposed carbon fiber roof. You also have your carbon on your side skirts here as well. And that trunk spoiler just looks phenomenal with that aggressive rear diffuser, quad exhaust tips that make a mean noise, and we'll hear those in just a moment. What ties together everything is a beautiful interior. What ties together everything with the Giulia Quadrifoglio is the beautiful Alcantara, the carbon fiber, the leather, the aluminum, stuff like the extended leather packages on the door upper dash, the Harman Kardon radio. This thing is just something to be marveled in, something to really appreciate. Let's take this beast for a drive. Guys, I'm always giddy when I'm able to drive one of these cars. The 505 horsepower 90-degree engine, which is a twin-turbo V6, pretty much the Ferrari California T engine with 2 cylinders off. I mean, 2.9 liters, F154 engine. This thing is something to be enjoyed, and I always enjoy it every time I'm in it. It's very thrilling, it's very exciting, it's very emotional, and that doesn't always convey on camera, but when you're behind the wheel of the Giulia Quadrifoglio, there's nothing like it. You guys have to drive it just to believe it. It's something that, like I said, as much as I want to convey on camera, I try, but what you get is raw emotion for me. What you see is what you get. I mean, beautiful leather steering wheel with carbon. You do have the Alcantara at the top and in the inner finger ports here. But other than that, I mean, this is all you need with these big Italian paddle shifters. It's just, that's it. This is the recipe for success when it comes to Alfa Romeo. A nice driving position, a nice steering wheel, nice solid feel on the paddle shifters, and then you're good to go. Now with 440 foot-pounds of torque, you're definitely going to get some nice wheel spin with this. You're definitely going to get some fun accelerations with this. You will get the noise as well, but in dynamic mode. When in dynamic mode, above 3,000 RPMs is when your valves will open for your exhaust. But if you're in race mode, your valves open automatically, and you'll be able to tell the difference, right away once you change your dial in your DNA driving mode to race mode. So there's a big difference in the sound, and there's a big difference in the feel. The shifts are a lot more aggressive, a lot faster. I mean, it turns off your traction, turns off everything. You can't just turn off your traction normally unless you do put it in race mode. That's the only way you can turn off your traction for the Giulia Quadrifoglios. For the other Giulias, you can't turn off your traction at all. Some people see that as a big flaw. It just depends on what kind of driver you are. This is just me showing you how fun this is to drive. So I'm going to do some nice accelerations for you guys. You'll be able to hear the exhaust in the back, and then you'll be able to experience it from the cabin. So we'll do that right now. First, we're going to do a couple on dynamic mode, and then we'll do a couple on race mode. Race mode, I advise anybody using it to be careful and just be responsible. So here we go. Race mode, dynamic mode, automatic. And those brakes are something else. these are not carbon ceramic brakes, but the steel brakes still do the trick. They wouldn't put them on the vehicle if they didn't. That's the biggest thing you'll notice is they're gonna work, they're gonna perform well. The carbon ceramics are not needed unless you're tracking the car, then that's what they are. They're track weapon brakes. But road use like this, now I'm sure you guys can hear those blips from downshifting quite well. But if I roll down the window, you might be able to hear them a little bit better. So let's try a dynamic mode run with the window down. I mean, you really feel it. I feel like in second gear, it's just, I mean, the boost is crazy. Twin turbo engine, you gotta wait for those turbos to spool, but holy crap. Sweet symphony. It's like hitting a piano key every time you hit the downshift on the paddle shifter. It's just a beautiful noise. So we're gonna do another dynamic mode. Run. Getting squirrely. So involved, and let me roll this window up so you guys can hear me over the windows. You're so involved when using the paddle shifters. I know you do have the gear select where you can shift up and down from, and that's all fun and games, but the paddles, I just feel like you're so much more in control because your both hands on the steering wheel, you're just engaged, you're watching those RPMs, you're shifting, you're turning, you know, it's just race mode time. Valves automatically open, traction off, safety assistance and everything off. Big RPM numbers right in the middle of the dash, and you're ready to go. So as you guys saw, I lost traction and spun those tires a little bit. You have to respect race mode. Because like I said, traction's off, you're all over the place. Okay, but in this instance, I did have both hands on the wheel and I had my eyes on the road. Nobody was in front of me. So that's always good. Like I said, you have to be careful, you have to be responsible when in race mode because of situations like that. You lose traction. I spun the tires through first and second gear. It's incredible. All right, so we'll do another quick run. The race mode. I'm gonna make sure there's no immediate traction traffic behind me, and go. I mean, so quick, so violent. When I say I haven't driven a car to make me feel this way, it's because I have to be so focused. And it's like no games. It's like we came here to win. We came here to drive this car and just go. I said earlier that I wasn't gonna do much talking, but here I am. Because you can't help but to explain how you feel when driving this car. I'm explaining so much I'm spitting. Hopefully you guys didn't get that on the camera and it didn't smear up the camera, but guys, this is, for the price point, where else are you having this much fun? Don't say M4. Don't say M4. No. Or M3 or none of those. It's not the same. You guys can fight me in the comments. It's not the same. AMG, maybe. it's got the noise, it's got some performance there too, but this is Italian craftsmanship and design at its best. So here you are. We have this 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio listed at $62,994, which I feel like is a steal when this car only has 5,400 miles on the clock. This thing is bang for your buck like no other. There's nowhere you can get a car with this kind of power, this kind of emotion, this kind of styling, and just this kind of rarity for a price like that. 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio isn't just a cat among the pigeons, it's a monstrous lion with a healthy appetite. This is something that you guys know that I love, that I've tested out before, that I've shown on the channel before, but with something that's a pre-owned model, 2017 with only 5,000 miles, I had to show you guys that we had this. Check out the social media links down below, the Patreon if you want to help support the channel, and all the social media stuff. But if not, just give the video a like. That definitely helps support me. It helps me get the videos up in the rankings. Also subscribe for more Maserati Alfa Romeo videos. Click that notification bell. And guys, leave a comment down below. What do you think about this spec? What do you think about the Giulia Quadrifoglio? What do you think about this video in general? I want to know. I'll be getting back to you guys in the comments shortly. Guys, with that said, be blessed. Have a wonderful day. You guys, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.